My name is Richard Bond, and I am the co-director of the movie Tupac Assassination Battle for Compton. Our movie recently has come under some serious scrutiny by members of the murder rap group led by former LAPD Detective Greg Kading. In short, they've accused us of propagating a falsehood against the public in the form of a confession letter that we received from Chris Blatchford at Fox News.
Yeah.
So there was a letter that was given to Blatchford.
Okay.
And this letter was alleged to have been written by Danny and Malcolm Patton.
Okay.
And the Patton brothers were Pyru. Pyrus.
Okay, yes.
And
it's a gang in Los Angeles.
Yes, it was a gang in Los Angeles, I should say that.
Yeah.
That the Blood Gang.
Yeah.
And that they had mapped out this entire, not only a confession that they were involved with the shootings, but why the shootings happened, what was all involved with it to begin with. Mr. Kading claims that the confession letter that we allege in our movie to have been written by Malcolm and Danny Patton is a fake. Well, that's just not true. And we're here to talk about that tonight. And we're going to let Mr. Surya speak to it in his own words.
You know, I'm not the one that turned around and said, hey, this is all what happened. You know, Danny's the one that said all this. He was just telling me about how much money he owed for, you know, free rent and everything. So it kind of like, I was trying to figure out what can we do to help him out.
Hi, my name is Susan Constantine, and I am a body language expert and leadership coach.
Okay, everyone get a really good look at your partner next to you, because I'm going to tell you if that person's going to lie to you.
Body language expert specializing in human behavior and facial recognition, Susan Constantine.
Well, my general conclusion is when I looked at both the photographs, there was a high level of similarity.
I've had over 1,000 national appearances on television. I'm asked every day almost to be on some show or to be quoted in a magazine. And the reason why they do that is because out of all of the experts out there, I give them content, good content every single time that's consistent, reliable, and accurate.
To find out if somebody's lying, first of all, the first thing we have to do is create a baseline. How does someone normally respond in a normal situation when they're not under pressure?
They may even put their hands over their mouth. These are little things, little clues that your little one is lying to you.
Well, the jury lab software was developed so that we can, as a trial consultant or attorney, can have eyes on the entire panel. You know, we can only pay attention to maybe one or two jurors. We can't see all the other movements and nuances of their facial expressions, which are the most accurate way to read people based on mathematical science, to read all the data points in a person's face all at the same time with 95% accuracy. There's no human being that would ever be able to do that, and it's humanly impossible.
LA's the city, IE's the county. Let's go, yeah. QB upon the beat. It's for all my hood niggas. Yeah, stand down. Yeah, me ain't easy. I'm the only one around that can carry the legacy of easy. A 3R about to take him to another place. You say my name, but you barely even know my face. I paper chase, I wanna make millions before I go. It's either that or die slow. To being broke ain't even a possibility. I've been having dreams of bad boys trying to kill me.
We're just watching his responses.
Of a video they did in the neighborhood a long time ago, like gang files.
Right there. Okay, that was the first one. So this is where he keeps tapping his fingers.
In the neighborhood a long time ago, like for gang files.
We do know that in research that when someone tries to contain themselves, it will leak out somewhere. So when I see his hand tap like that, I liken it to a teapot. When it gets too hot and starts to boil, the lid starts to sing, right?
Right.
So you can only contain it, and one way to release that, like in a teapot, is to lift the lever.
Have you ever met anybody in Tupac Shakur's entourage or anything like that?
Yes.
Now look at that. He answers yes, and guess what? He doesn't move.
Have you ever met anybody in Tupac Shakur's entourage or anything like that?
Yes.
Is that from your neighborhood associations from where you grew up?
Yeah, because he says, yes, I knew the gang people.
Yes.
I ran into
exactly.
somebody in Tupac's entourage. Sure.
Yep, but did you notice that there was also a pause before he answered that question?
Yes.
Yes.
Was Mr. Blatchford, the reporter, part of that that production of some type of gang expose?
The day I was there, he said he was.
There's another one.
That production of some type of gang expose?
The day I was there, he said he was.
At that meeting, was there any discussion whatsoever about the murder of Tupac Shakur?
No.
Yep, right there. Was there any discussion about the murder of Tupac? And you saw it right there.
Robert had given this guy a letter claiming that you and your brother Malcolm, along with a guy named Little Halfdead. Do you know who Little Halfdead is?
No.
His real name is Donald Smith. He's a rapper. He's loosely associated or perhaps related to Snoop Dogg. You've never met Little Halfdead in your life?
No.
You
Right
don't
there.
know him.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
This letter claims
Right there.
that
That one, where you gasp for air, that's nervousness. You know, when your stomach's upset and you're feeling anxious, that's what happens too.
Do you feel that this is because he's going into an area that he's not comfortable speaking about?
Exactly. That's what happens.
that you, Little Halfdead, and your brother Malcolm were involved in the murder of Tupac Shakur in 1996. Is there any truth to that whatsoever?
No.
Right there.
Yep.
He's got to expel the energy somewhere. So he's expelling that's how he's expelling his energy.
In 1996, on September 7th specifically, which was the night Tupac Shakur was shot, were either you or Malcolm even in Las Vegas?
No.
There we go again. See, I would be pointing out all of these.
Back when you used to hang out with Robert, did he have a wild imagination?
Wow.
Okay. Have you ever been interviewed
Oh, there's
by the
the
Las
fist.
Vegas
There's the
Metropolitan
fist.
Police Department in regard to...
This one is Danny. This, by the way, so you know, this, the guy in the black is Danny.
Danny is the dark side. I think that Malcolm, is it Malcolm?
Yes.
He is a pretty good guy for the most part, but I think he's got sucked into stuff with his brother Malcolm. I think he's covering something with his brother Malcolm.
Got it. Okay. And do you feel like Danny is being deceptive at this point? Would that be your interpretation of his
Yes, it would be. I think that Danny is withholding information. And then, so the question is why, you know, people withhold information for many reasons. One is that their involvement. Two is that fear of punishment could be from another person that they were involved with, that, you know, that he would be in harm if he was caught or was, you know, there's called the fear of punishment. So it could be that there's some affiliation that he's not able to tell you the full truth. So he's not telling us the whole truth. He's not. He is not telling us the whole truth. So he's withholding. The question that I would have is why? Yeah. If you're telling the truth, why do you feel like you need to withhold anything? The most successful interview and investigations are when you open up, you tell me what happened in your words, and you shut up. You need to talk less and let them talk more. And I said, most of you talk more and let them talk less because you're too interested in leading them down the rabbit hole to get them to answer the questions the way you want to and entrap them.
Our expert claims that Mr. Patton, both Danny and Malcolm, were being deceptive. This is an open call to Mr. Kading and Mr. Dorsey to dispense with all of the slamming back and forth, and we can tone down the rhetoric by one very easy thing, and that's to put the Pattons on a polygraph. They did say that they'd be willing to take one, and put Mr. Soria on a polygraph, as he did say that he was willing to take one. And then we can resume the discussion after we've determined by polygraph who might be lying and who isn't lying. I think that our team is game. How about yours?